Look at how big these ferns are. Isn't this amazing?
Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful Saturday morning here in Seattle. I was only kidding about the beautiful part because the weather has come back in, as it often does. But that's what we live with, and so we're just going to deal with it. Today we're headed to Whidbey Island, and there's a beautiful state park up there that we visited a few months ago. Only we didn't have a video camera. So today we do have a video camera. But not only do we have a video camera, but we're filming in 4K ultra high definition.
Life jackets may be found underneath bench seats in the passenger cabin.
There are only two ways to get to Whidbey Island. The first is to go north and go over Deception Pass on the bridge, or take the Washington State Ferry, which is what we're doing today.
We made it to the Wilbert Trail. It is a 0.8 mile easy hike, but it's beautiful inside. Let's go take a look at it. Well, we came around the corner, just barely inside the trailhead, and found another trailhead sign. This one's a little bit longer, so we're going to take this one.
My friends, I have to tell you, I've lived in the Northwest for most of my life, and I have never seen so many ferns as is in this state park right here.
When on the trail, watch out for the slugs. They can be pretty big, and they're very slimy. This trail is narrow and winding. In some spots it can get pretty muddy, so make sure you're wearing proper boots.
Oh my.
Oh look, pine cone trimmings. Evidence of squirrels packing things away for the winter.
After hiking up a hill next to a fern-filled canyon, the trail transitions into a more open, deciduous tree zone as we approach the ridge. After a short while, the trail comes out to the top of the ridge, and it's a long, straight run from there, clear across the park.
This is the trail we started on. This is where we've gotten to. Behind us is a service road. This is where we parked. So we're going to continue down this way, all the way, and then we're going to take the Wilbert Trail so that we can come back to where we started. Otherwise, the trail does continue down here, and then you've got to walk either through the campground or on the road to get back. So we're going to take the Wilbert Trail back. We've reached the northern end of the park, and we're going to head downhill into a fern gully. Trail junction. That's Fern Gully Trail. This one here is Wilbert Trail. That's the one we're taking.
This is a coastal rainforest, so we were really surprised when we came around the corner and we saw this big open area where there are absolutely no ferns and almost nothing green. I'm not sure what happened here, but it's much different than everything else around us.
Watch out for snail. That's a big tree, but it's not the big cedar. Another giant cedar, but this one is not the ancient one either.
Before we move on, I'd like to show you something interesting. This tree and a number of trees in this park are so old that they've survived a number of forest fires over the years. Now, if you look over here, you'll see that the bark has been burned. But the bark on these old trees is so thick that they can burn, but it won't hurt the tree. It won't even penetrate through.
Ah, the ancient cedar. Behold, the ancient cedar. It's over 500 years old. Look at how big these ferns are. Isn't this amazing?
There's a section of this park that's extremely wet, and it's full of skunk cabbage. And you know it when you get here because of the smell. It smells vaguely like a skunk. But we see lots of giant ferns, skunk cabbage, and a few other interesting plants that we'll show you. This interesting plant right here is a reed, and it grows in wetlands. When I was a kid, we liked to pull these things apart because they were like straws, and you could pull them apart and then put them back together again, although I doubt that they lived after that. After a tree dies, it starts to decay, and then that tree becomes a soft, mushy kind of a soil that other seeds fall into. And sometimes those seeds will sprout and form a new little tree, which is actually growing into the mother tree. Right here we have a good example of a tree which has grown up a little bit. This is probably maybe an 8-year-old, maybe 10-year-old tree right here. And you can see how it's already taken over the mother tree. Several years ago, we visited Sequoia National Park down in California, and let me tell you what, those trees were big, but this tree right here reminds me a lot of them.
It was really fun, but Penny's a little too. She has tender feet, even though she's big. So she kind of balks at the pack.
I know. Is she laying in the mud? What is she doing over there?
Yes.
Oh yes. Look at her feet.
We're gonna give her a bath. So there you go.
June, my dog.
Hey, off! Oh no, no.
Seriously,
It's okay.
Out.
Okay.
Out.
Yeah, and your husband has it all on camera.
That's okay, really happy.
Funny. Oh. All right, we'll have a good hike.
So there you have it. There's the trail at South Whidbey State Park. It's a fun trail, it's beautiful, and usually not crowded, even on weekends. So if you're looking for a place where you can get a little solitude, come here and hike this trail.